Hi there, Casey Healy, Director here at Century 21 Novocastrian, back with you for our Monday wrap, keeping Newcastle investors up to date on what's happening in the current market, tips, tricks and strategies to maximise your return on your investment. As always, Nicole, our investor consultant, joins me this morning. Nick.
Morning.
How was your weekend?
Really good. It was good. And yours?
Good. It's so nice to be back in the office. Like, I can't say how nice it is to actually be back in the office working face to face with the team. Such a great vibe. So this week we haven't had a lot of properties for lease. I think we've got 2 properties for lease at the moment. I think we've kind of sat on four or five properties all week last week. So
couple more coming online.
Couple more. Nick's doing a job. Her job is within our business is to bring on new business. So if we're getting new management, Nick's doing a job. I thought I'd today discuss quickly chat about our friends at Innovate Finance. They sent through a Friday wrap of what's happened and what are they seeing in the market. Some good tips here for investors that come through on Friday from Nick Ball and Nick Riley at Innovate Finance. It says an interesting article in the Australian Financial Review this week covering investors' interest rate savings. Summary below. Any investors who have not reviewed their borrowing cost of late will be paying too much interest. So property investors are rushing back into the residential property markets with new loans increasing by nearly 50% compared to this time last year. Good tick for us as a business, investors are coming back. Rents during the 3 months to the end of September rose, so 20% in Darwin, 12% in Perth, Sydney and Melbourne fell by 2%. That's not so relevant to us here in Newcastle, so rents did increase. There was definitely no decrease in rents here. But fierce competition amongst the lenders for new business means investors can nearly halve their monthly repayments by shopping around for the cheapest rather than accept the average rate on offer. It really is a great time to refinance. So there is such low rates out there available. Interest-only loans, if they're coming to an end, you can refinance and do that. You'll never get a higher valuation. So it also says an investor borrowing $555,000 with a 20% deposit for a 30-year principal and interest loan could save about $5,000 a year by switching from the average variable rate of 3.45% to the lowest variable rate of 2.38%. That same investor locking in the lowest 1-year fixed rate of 2.27% could save $5,500 a year. An interest-only investor could reduce monthly repayments by more than $7,300 a year by switching from the average variable rate of 3.71 to the lowest variable rate of 2.4. A switch to the lowest interest-only fixed rate of 2.73 would save nearly $9,600 annually. That's almost $200 a week. That's a big saving.
Absolutely, and anyone who doesn't look at their mortgage for that change, like in sitting there, imagine what they can do moving forward.
What could you do with $10,000 a year? That's pretty much what it is. So yes, it's not as tedious and it's not a tedious process as what it was probably when you first got the loan. Nick Ball from Innovate is amazing at what he does and does really streamline the process and make it easy for you to refinance. So I do suggest reach out to Nick. His details will be below in this video. If not, give me a call and I can put you in touch.
Definitely.
Numbers, what do we got?
Gonna start with the last 7 days and then we'll jump into the end of the month. Close to Christmas.
Forgot about that. We're like 6 weeks till Christmas? 6, 7?
Yeah,
oh,
close. But that's a holiday. Like we're having holidays.
We need a holiday. No one's been anywhere this year.
In the last 7 days though, we've actually had 116 tenant inquiries, but we've leased 5 properties in the last 7 days, which is amazing. In the last 30 days though, 730 tenant inquiries. So the property managers have absolutely been busy with those inquiries and 421 applications.
Wow.
So average that over a month, it's over 100 applications a week. And our average days on market are sitting at 8. So be mindful that, again, that number can vary. 8's still great though, given that change of tenancy and days on market. We had a couple of high-end properties, as we mentioned last week, that were sitting there for a little bit longer. So that number's like still really good. But our average property value each week or rental amount is about 550. So compare that to 12 months ago, that's bumped up a little bit. So.
That's where you can relate back to that domain issue I think we spoke about last week, showing there was a 15% increase in household rent from year on year. So that shows in those numbers of the average weekly rent of properties we're leasing here at $550 a week.
And I'm pretty sure this time, like last year, we were talking 520. I'd have to go back and confirm those numbers, but I think that amount was, our average was about 520.
Yeah, maybe even closer to 5.
Yeah, it was definitely. I've got a couple of properties I want to share for our investors out there. We had 2 really good results this week from the property managers that worked really hard for. 80 Estelle Street, Maryville, that we put that property online, first opened for inspection and leased after inspection, $15 over the advertised rent. So that was a great result for the investor, minimising that vacancy, and that was all finalised before settlement. So
yeah, so we worked with the investor, well, landlord now, investor, landlord, from the point of sale. So once they exchanged, we reached out, we went through a marketing strategy and a marketing plan to get the property ready for lease. Working that we sold the property, we had a great relationship with the vendor, was able to show the property for lease, hence being able to lease the property, have tenants secured, ready to move in the day after settlement or close to that.
Yeah, and the other one is 103 Avena Path. We put that property online on Wednesday, leased Thursday, tenant moved in Friday, so
3-day turnaround from marketing to move in.
Yeah,
good job, girls.
Yeah, and Sarah was out there early on the Friday morning doing the ingoing, so I owe her. She jumped in and got that one across the line before end of month, and just to make sure we, minimise that vacancy for our new landlord, which was great.
That's right, and it's also maximising their return. So that's our goal, is obviously to work with them towards financial freedom through property and doing these little things right along that process. So leasing the property a couple of days earlier, ensuring regular rent increases, ensuring maintenance upkept, is maintaining their asset, increasing their return, and obviously pushing the value of the property up.
Definitely.
That's all from us this week. If you have any questions in relation to your property, if you're looking to get into the Newcastle market, if you're unhappy with your current agent, reach out, give us a comment below, email us, call us, send us through a calendar invite to meet up. We've both got Calendly now, which is working really well.
It is working well.
Love it. Please reach out. We'd love to be able to help you secure financial freedom through your investment property.
I'm Nicole Hoare, investor consultant with Century 21.
I'm Casey Healy, director at Century 21. I missed the ending then, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.